Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I wanted to review a budget multi-tool. So this is probably one of the cheapest multi-tools that I've ever bought, at least in kind of the full size category. But I'll preface it this way: for 16, or I think it's what, $17 on Amazon right now, it's not bad. I mean, it is a usable $17 tool. Albeit it's not the most kind of luxurious thing to use, but it's no Leatherman, but it works. So I think it's for some purposes it might not be bad. The reason I got this for actually is for a car emergency kit. So it's something that I probably won't likely use ever, or not a lot. So I didn't want to spend the money on like on a nice Leatherman if it's just gonna sit in the trunk. So I thought this would be a decent one to get. So going over the tools first, some of the outside tools. First, the tools kind of come out from the inside, which means the pliers have to be open to get the tools. And on one side you have 4 tools. So you have a saw, which when I compare it to, like, let's pull out a Leatherman saw here and compare the two. If I can find it here, too many tools out here open. Come on, where is it? There we go. So the Leatherman tool, much sharper. As soon as I grab it, it's like already biting into my skin. Where this one is not as sharp, but can you cut a couple twigs with it? I'm sure you can. So saw, and then we have, looks like a pry bar of some sort, maybe a flathead screwdriver, but not really sharp. So not really. They could have, I think, sharpened this and made it kind of like an awl type of a tool as well. Have a sharp edge to it. So just like a pry bar looks like. Then over here we have, this looks like to be the can opener or the bottle opener. I guess a can opener because it's got a sharpened end here. So they put these things in almost every tool. I've never ever used a can opener from these tools. I don't know why it's like a staple on every tool. And then you have a file, which again, a very weak file if you ask me. I mean, first of all, they're not being utilized in the full surface of it. So if we pull out a Leatherman file, which by the way is one of the best files. I mean, you can see the whole thing is a file, where here there's wasted space right here, a little bit right there, same right there. I mean, they could have made this all a file, and this is like such a weak, really weak file. I mean, it's not even like, you can barely feel it. This one's a little more kind of pronounced, and it looks like they put out again a Phillips head screwdriver and a multi-tool or a pry bar. So this file is pretty mediocre at best, so not going to do much filing with this. Then if we go to the other handle, we have a blade. It's a fairly small blade. I mean, let's see what we got here from a dimension standpoint. So you're looking at about 2 2¼ it's about 2 1/4 cutting surface. So small blade, nothing big here as well. And then moving along, we have our bottle opener, which it is what it is. It's just a single bottle opener, doesn't have like a wire strip or anything like that on it. And then we have a screwdriver, which is actually not bad. Actually, it's it's a good length, and I think this should fit if you get like a bit set. This might even fit. Oh no, it won't. Too big. Never mind. Thought maybe it would fit, but it's a good size screwdriver. And then probably the dumbest thing ever, a fish scaler. I mean, I don't know who scales so much fish that they need a dedicated scaler, but a fish scaler and a 2.5-inch ruler. So that's it for the tools. And then obviously you got the pliers, which actually aren't bad. They're spring loaded. the tool itself is a little chunky, so you do have a good, good grip on this thing. It doesn't have any hot spots that I can see here, but it is a little noisy. The pliers line up straight. There's not that much play. There's a little wiggle, but not too bad. Yeah, there's a little play in the pliers, but you could probably fix it by taking like a center punch and giving this a good whack. That should kind of tighten this up. And that's pretty much it. And then brings us to here. These are screwed in, so you do have some adjustability to tighten and loosen things up if you need to. And this is aluminum. Feels like plastic, but the specs say aluminum. So there you go. That is really the ProMaster multi-tool. It's a little chunky feeling, when you compare it to like the Wave Plus. It's a little more, I think they put on these kind of decorative scales, which kind of just add to the size. And then you kind of see here there's a little play, not that much, where you look at a Leatherman, and it's a little more solid, I think. But yeah, obviously not a fair comparison. We're talking about $15 versus, 90 or 100. I don't know what these are going for. But again, if you're in this small price range, I think this is a fine tool. Like for my purpose, I threw it in the car for, in case there, emergency breakdown. I think it'll serve fine to, pull out a fuse, crimp a hose, cut some rope or something, I don't know. I think it'll solve, some of the basic car issues you may encounter, or some kind of emergency issues you may encounter. So I think for like a car kit, it's not bad. The one thing though I would probably say is, this goes for $16. I think right as of this video, this is $17, and then this is the Gerber NXT, suspension NXT, and this goes right now for $29. So almost twice the cost. And to be honest, I think I'd get this one over the ProMaster. I mean, yes, this is a real good bargain, but I think an extra $13 isn't going to break anyone. And if you can swing it, I would hands down get this Gerber. I think this is probably one of the better buys for a inexpensive multi-tool. So when I bought this one, I didn't know about that one. Otherwise, I would have never bought this one. So I bought this one, and to be honest, I'm thinking of buying a couple more of these and just throwing these in all my cars, because this really is a much more robust tool. Pliers, a lot more usable tools, scissors. I mean, this one is just I don't want to spend too much time on this one here because it's not what this video is about, but you get more usable tools on this one. So in the end, this is the ProMaster. For $16, it's okay, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you really were firm at $17 and you couldn't swing anything more. That's it for this one.